Hello, my name is Norma Norris. I'm the executive director of the nonprofit Candle Incorporated that stands for Community Action Network for Drug-Free Lifestyle Empowerment. Say that fast 5 times. Our mission is to educate the community, educate particularly families, and let them know how to stay safe in today's environment. In particular, we're always concerned with emerging drug trends. And on that topic, I have with me today Christopher Lara, and he is associated with the Ideal Steel Company in Detroit, Michigan. Christopher, welcome to our recording today.
Thank you so much. Like Norma said, I'm Christopher Lara. I work with the Ideal Group as a volunteer. They have a community garden that is really close in my community, so I just go there to help volunteer in their garden.
Mm-hmm. And you've done that for a number of years.
Yep, since they opened in 2012.
Wow, that's a long history. So after COVID and you returned to your volunteer duties at Ideal Steel, we're looking at a picture of something here on the street, Christopher. Can you tell me what happened when things got up and running again in about June of 2020?
Yes. In the street, there's Whippet containers, which are nitrous oxide canisters, and they're littered all over the floor. Not just this floor, but all over Southwest Detroit.
So you're seeing them on the streets everywhere?
Yes, on the streets, on playgrounds, and on parking lots.
And this was a total surprise when you came back to work?
Yeah, when I came back from school, this is the first year that I've noticed that the numbers have pretty much exploded all throughout Detroit.
Oh, okay. So you can see the cartridges on the streets. And so what happened as a result? I mean, the community had to be concerned. Ideal Steel had to be concerned. What were some of the actions that were taken?
Well, since the Ideal Group and Ideal Steel are an integral part of Southwest Detroit, Frank Venegas, which is the chairman and CEO, he decided to pretty much call residents of Southwest Detroit, and it was a call to action to help pick up and clean up pretty much the streets.
Okay, so they pose a danger, I understand, to tires and et cetera too.
Mm-hmm. It's basically an environmental hazard. If you run them over in certain angles, they can pop tires in your car, and most importantly, they're being used, as inhalant drugs.
And you did a deep dive into what all that involves. So you understand the risks involved with inhaling what would be nitrous oxide in these containers called Whippets, and they're associated with whipped cream. This is why they're called Whippets, and they're one part of the classification called inhalants. So Christopher, when you went into your research to find out what harm was coming to the people that were using this, what they were risking, what did you find out?
Yeah, so Whippets alone, without the addition of oxygen, like in certain medical settings, that can lead to an inactivation of vitamin B12, which leads to things like fatigue, numbness and tingling in your hands, dizziness, and then if abused, it can lead to hypoxia, which is a low amount of oxygen in your body, which can cause irreversible brain damage. Along with all the other effects that addiction comes with.
Mm-hmm. We've been putting a spotlight on inhalants from time to time during our 17-year history with a program that we have called Reality Tour, which is in 9 states, and it brings parent and child together to learn at the same time what the risks are for some of the drugs that are trending within a community. In my own community of Butler County, Pennsylvania, it's been about a dozen years ago, we lost a 12-year-old to huffing or inhaling a concentrated form. That time the product was Hairspray. So we have over 3,000 household products that we use in our daily living that are a potential for abuse. And some of the things for parents to look for are dark circles under the eyes, or even a tongue can be coated with something. And as always, we say a change in the child's behavior or a change in the friends that they're hanging out with. Those are some signs. And you can go to our website at realitytour.org and find out some more information. But I'm curious as to how you were able to engage the community and what happened as far as the cleanup goes, and the sheer numbers of containers that you were seeing.
Yeah, in terms of community involvement, a lot has to play with the Ideal Group and Southwest Detroit Environmental Vision. They are two companies that have a couple employees, along with myself, who have put together flyers, which we distributed in about a 3 or 4 block radius around the garden. And that caused community members to pick up bags of basically whippets, and they can turn them in for a raffle to receive a gift card to a supermarket. So that's just one incentive of getting community involved. But we also in the same flyer we talk about the health risks and the environmental hazard they propose. So it allows our community members to really start taking pride in where we live.
So there's like a competition for the cleanup then.
Yes.
Oh, that's a fantastic community action that was taken, and you were kind of at the head of all this.
Myself along with Dolores, which is another member of Southwest Detroit Environmental Vision, and then the funding, of course, from Frank Venegas of the Ideal Group.
Okay, so here you're shown with thousands of these whippets. Where were you able to dispose of them at?
Right now, we actually were able to partner with a company called Ferris Processing. They delivered 2 metal bins with that are able to contain all the metal whippets, and then they pick them up at the end of about a week or 2.
Okay, and this is a curious piece of equipment here to collect the whippets. Can you explain this to us? This gizmo?
That was also donated by Chris Vasquez from Ferris Processing. It's a metal roller, basically with a giant magnet on the bottom that allows us to pick up whippets like at a larger scale. Like we can roll this over a parking lot and then not have to bend over all day and pick them up. So okay. It's just a very nice gesture.
That's terrific. So we want to give some mention here to the Ideal Group, and they're involved in the community to such a large extent, particularly with the Cadillac Urban Gardens. And that really changed the neighborhood, didn't it?
Yeah. They've been involved with the community ever since they moved into their headquarters in 2000. They've been able to employ former gang members to work for them. They've been able to open a community garden. They've been involved with Clark Park and many of the businesses in Southwest Detroit.
Wow. And I've actually toured the gardens. It's quite amazing, and the whole neighborhood, reaps the benefits of the harvest and learns how to help take care of things. And even the little kids are involved. It's just a really neat thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so tell us about who's behind this logo.
Yeah, this is Southwest Detroit Environmental Vision. They work they have many programs that involve removing blight, working with air and soil treatments to basically clean up Southwest Detroit. Their involvement, they've been able to help work with us to develop flyers, to help collect whippets, to make sure that a lot of the management of receiving the whippets and getting the raffle out there. That's basically how they've been helping us out here.
Okay, and you have a final partner here, Ferris Processing and Trading Company, and they have the really neat magnet tool, right?
Right, they have the magnets and then the 2 metal bins that we can put all the whippets in, and then they come and collect them as well.
Okay, now you mentioned that this started in in June, right after people were coming back after COVID. Are you still seeing the discards?
Yeah, we definitely see them. Uh, I was out in the park last week and I actually saw somebody dropping them out of their car, and I wasn't able to get close to them to ask them, what's going on, and
Yeah.
why would they litter in our own community, um, but yeah, they've definitely, it's definitely going on right now.
Okay. So it's not so much that people are standing around in the parking lots and using the whippets. They're in their automobiles driving around high
Yeah, yeah,
and then dumping out the discards in,
right.
in quantities. Wow. Um, and it's just such a waste. The high lasts less than a minute.
Yeah,
And I know in Michigan that it is unlawful to sell these to underage, to minors.
right.
So I hope that some of that is going to come into focus and maybe call on some of the suppliers, whether they're, I don't know where people are getting these at. Do you know where they're supplied from mainly?
Yeah, you can get them anywhere basically in hardware stores, Walmart. You can get them from liquor stores. In basically your own neighborhood, you can get them. They're very available, and they're very, they're just accessible to a very large population.
Mhm. And those are ingredients necessary for a drug to trend. The
Right,
availability, the ease of access, and the cost, the low cost. And we anticipated there would be some possibly unique or reemergence of some trends after COVID. And so we really appreciate you sharing your information, sharing what you're seeing. And we want to alert other communities and other parents, because a parent seeing this cartridge wouldn't necessarily know what it was.
right.
Exactly. So you're doing a great job. If there's ever a time that our organization can help you, please don't hesitate to call on us. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, Christopher.
Thanks for spreading the word. Thank you.
Uh-huh.